Hey guys, what is up? Liru the Lance Corporal here. Today is the 9th of June, 2017, and there is a lot to talk about. I know I always say that about every map we have, or every frickin' Friday video we have, but this one really takes the cake. There's a lot to discuss, including a lot of radical restructuring, a lot of upcoming things, a lot of money involved, and just some really crazy stuff that I think everyone who follows my channel should really listen to, but I don't know, not that many will. So, anyway, guys, it's our Friday video, so of course the websites and Teamspeak IP are going to be in the description below. We have an op tonight, open to the public from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be on Altis, no Kozus, and it's going to be myself. I've got 2 ops planned and a backup 3rd op, so we will, get that underway. If you want to reserve a slot, I highly recommend you come 2 hours earlier. We have a very big tendency to fill up the server about 2 hours before we even start the op. However, it has dwindled a bit because a lot of people are taking finals right now or are currently busy because it's just that time of the year for a lot of people. So, anyway, we have a lot I need to talk about. First things first, within my community, there is going to be a rapid restructuring of the tier system. Now, for tier 0 and 1, you don't really have to worry. Tier 0 is still anybody that's public. You come into the community, you're given tier 0, that's fine. You come to a Friday op, or I will mention this, even a training that is done by one of my other tier 5s. If you come to one of those, you'll get the tier 1 tag, which means you can play most days, usually Mondays, Sundays, and Wednesdays. We've got some training stuff. Not really training, actually. Let me retract that statement. More of just fun little mod sets like Vietnam, Operation Trebuchet, Iron Front. We've got a new thing that we're doing. I call it PMC Wars, where basically it's a PvP variant where you have the Blue 4 faction and the Independent faction. I both give them the same objective against Russian forces, and whoever completes it first wins. There's only PvP when they get to an actual AO, like let's say the AOs in this town of Bulbongo. I'll put some dots around and then say only PvP in this area where the Russians are can you engage. But the Russians are going to have a much superior force and much better equipment than you. And the whole point is more of a Spec Ops style. So it's like Covert, Spec Ops, 2 PMCs trying to get a contract done at the same time. We had a test run of it yesterday. The full concept wasn't completely done, but it led to the creation of this concept, and I think it worked really, really well. And you might be wondering why I'm looking around this map right now. I've got a few different maps in our Tier 2 to Tier 4 mod set. I'm currently scouting around to try to find a new campaign to do with Tier 3, which will involve frigate insertions. I'm going to be using the frigate model. I forget where it is if I try to look it up right now, but basically they're going to spawn on, here it is, the Anzac class frigate. They're going to spawn on this thing, preferably in this area. There's going to be an arsenal for them, and then I'm going to have a little bird on this chopper, and they can also drive this around, because all of this is walkable. And they'll just move this around to where they need to on the map, and, we'll go from there. So that'll be, a new cool Tier 3 campaign. And, it'll give them some more leeway. And, while they plan their ops, someone can be driving the frigate to where it needs to go. So I think that would be a cool concept for Tier 3. But back to tier changes. Tier 1 to Tier 2 is where we're having the biggest hurdle right now. It even involves demoting some of the Tier 2s to refit some of these standards, but the best way I can say the new standard is going to be is you need to be proficient in 2 roles. Pilot, medic, squad lead, rifleman, blah blah blah. You need to be proficient in 2 specialties, and then on top of that, you need to be a member from anywhere between 2 to 5 weeks, depending on your previous gaming experience, and you have to attend trainings. There's not really a number on how many trainings you need to attend. It, again, depends on your base proficiency, depends how well you can follow orders, and it just depends if Tier 2 is right for you, because Tier 2 is a first-person locked milsim realism experience, which leads up to even tougher spec ops that go into a realism milsim experience. And that's really what we're looking for in Tier 2, because I will say, in compared to last month to this month, the Tier 2s have been improving. However, if we were to look back maybe 3 or 4 months, when Tier 2 was in its prime, when Tier 2 really meant something, the quality of ops, I would say, has gone down overall, just because that's just what happens. And, it is a bit of a shame, but that we have to do things this way, but I think in the end, we'll have higher quality ops, we'll see less fuck ups, we'll see more action, and I think in the end of the day, this changes for the better. I'm gonna look at a different map. I do like this one, but let's look at Brahma here. So that's the change from Tier 2 to Tier 3. Or Tier 1 to Tier 2, excuse me. Tier 2 to Tier 3 is more of a grooming process, I would say, for Tier 4. Tier 3 and Tier 4 ops are still going to have their differences, but Tier 4 ops are going to be really elite PMC or play with a really cool set of mods. That's what I've decided for Tier 4, and then Tier 3 is going to be our super spec oppy tier. But the main difference between Tier 3 and Tier 4 is Tier 3s are being evaluated for Tier 4, but Tier 4 has even less room than Tier 3 and vice versa. So basically, after Tier 2, it's just an evaluation process of, how far down the rabbit hole you want to go in terms of what we can offer for spec ops and, mil simi content. So, that's really just it for the change in the tier system. That's all we've got. Liking this map with the, the ocean, the rivers that goes through it. It's good. And, we'll go from there. Other campaigns to look forward to. I've already talked about our frigate campaign. Tier 4 is going to get a campaign. It's going to change weekly with the Tier 3 ops. So every 2 weeks will be a Tier 4 op. Every 2 weeks will be a Tier 3 op, blah, blah, blah. But the main concern for Tier 4 is we're going to do a bit of a custom campaign involving Stargates. And I don't want to say anything else, but I assure you it's going to be some really, really cool stuff, so long as I can get it all working. I'm also fine-tuning Star Wars. We released some of that content with the space battle. I'm trying to do some custom coding to make the Arma front land battles work too. And, hopefully that'll be ready by next Tuesday. Because based on the test run we did on last Wednesday, I believe, it was clear that there was some stuff in the vanilla Eden editor that was not working with the mod. So, some custom coding needed to be done. Other things to talk about. Zeus v Zeus will be coming back. And this is another reason you might want to get in on this community, because Zeus v Zeus is going to be restricted to Tier 1s only. But the prize pool last time we did it was $150. I've been hearing some heavy rumors, and it is pretty much confirmed to me that that prize pool will increase tenfold to 1,500. Again, still a rumor. I've pretty much confirmed it, but I never know because donations for this prize pool, again, they're donations and someone could easily pull out. But I've been hearing some crazy, crazy rumors and been confirming sources here. And that prize pool is going to be massive. So I would love to have, at least a half-filled server to do stuff like this, because that is just crazy that someone or a group of people are going to be giving that much for Zeus v Zeus, because apparently people really loved it. So we're going to have it in the same fashion in a few weeks, some trial days where people can get warmed up to the mission file, how to do Zeus v Zeus, and then go in from there. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be going for that money just as hard as anybody else, because that's a lot. So, another reason to get in on this community. That will be coming up, and that will be replacing temporarily the PMC stuff, or something else, depending on what people get bored with, but most likely the PvP PMC stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Other things to talk about. Now, some of you may have noticed that there's been a little drop in the video count, but there's been more edited videos coming out. And this is because I've recently created a deal with some of my player base where some of them, three of them specifically, Rube, Northern, and Giant Spaz, they've started doing some editorial work for me. And, excuse me, this has led to the creation of at least 3 edited videos every 1 to 2 weeks at minimum. There can be more. It depends on how fast they want to work. It's all volunteer work, but, you know, they'll be getting benefits on the side because I don't like to let anyone do anything for me for free because I think that's, you know, freeloading. But, you know, we have a lot more edited work, and this is because people keep asking for it. I've known for quite a while if I were to, you know, instead of uploading 2 to 3, like, just quickly cut and edited videos, just portraying ops, if I were to just, you know, focus on funny highlights, I'd be a much more big and famous YouTuber, but I have never really had the time nor interest to do that, and now I have people to, you know, do it for me, so now that content can be made and come to the channel. My only fear with that is if I do become a big YouTuber, um, the type of people that comedy or quickly edited content brings in is not the type of players that, like the average player, I'm not talking about everyone, but the average player that it brings in is not the best. Because people, you know, they see the quick comedy highlights and they think that's all we do, and it's not. Alright, they're just random funny things that happen, just, you know, exist. Compared to, you know, if I just release the raw footage, which I still am. So if anything, the video count's going to increase. I've just been, you know, getting my editors situated, but just the type of people it would bring, I'm just a little worried that the quality of the ops will decrease. But with the restructuring of the tier system, the ops that I want to stay realism-y, milsim-y are going to stay that way. And just maybe with tier 1, tier 0, you know, we'll get more players for the ops, and that would be pretty nice anyway. So that's all I have for that. I'm going to look at a new map here. Looked at 2, and then we're using Panther, the winter variant, for that. So let's just, you know, take a look at, let's look at Alraic some more. Another thing I want to mention with the schedule, every first week of the month, specifically on Saturdays when we have our tier 2 op day, we're going to be inviting Manticore to assist in the op. And they're going to mainly help with either one of 3 roles. They have some really good pilots that we can, you know, have. We do have, you know, I'd say 2 really good pilots within our own community, and then some also, you know, decent ones. But, you know, comparing them to John 5, for example, Jesus, John 5's a god. But Manticore also has some really, really good pilots from what I've seen. So they can take some extra flight roles to, you know, transport or JTAC or whatever that we need for the op. The second role they can provide is some deep reconning. I can set up an op, bring them in before my main player base, and you know, they can recon and mark things out, because I've seen them work in that environment, and they definitely know how to stay stealthy and yet mark everything without the use of a drone sometimes. I mean, it's crazy what these guys can do. And then the third, of course, is to provide frigate support, like that first stop we did. I will be publishing both an edited montage of the frigate and the actual op itself within the coming few days as I, you know, catch up with my backlog, as usual. So those are 3 different roles that Manticore is going to provide on those days, and it's entirely up to Harrington, which is their commander of the unit, to decide, you know, which role they want to provide for that specific op. And I think these are going to all be done on Alraic because it's such a beautiful fucking map. I love it. Holds a special place in my heart. I recently gave it a 10 out of 10, man. Good stuff. Map reviews, again, they're going to hopefully come out weekly. Again, because I've been working with editors, I haven't done any work, but I'm going to try to get one episode up by tomorrow. And, you know, hopefully we can continue from there. I've got a small list of maps I want to do, and we will be going from there. Other quick things I want to talk about. Maladin for Vanilla is coming out soon. I'm going to be doing a test run on the next Vanilla op on Maladin, and if it doesn't crash the damn server, we're going to do a few of our ops on Maladin for a while and, you know, make some custom mission mod sets. We might even revisit Tanoa with maybe a 40 player count just to, you know, see how it goes. for a week to see if we can help improve frames. But Tanoa is a fun map. But if we, just reduce the player base a bit for a tier 0 op, just to make it work, I think that would be okay. Make things a bit more competitive within tier zeros. But other than that, one more thing I want to talk about is our calendar. And it's been a little unstable the past few days. It's because I've been making some transitions to the new schedule we're going to have in August, which frees up Tuesdays and Thursdays for other Zeuses to be doing stuff because I'm allocating those days for, my personal time as well as, college work and my schedule and whatnot. So what we're going to be seeing is just a gradual change in really just freeing up Tuesdays and Thursdays. With Vietnam, it's going to end within the next 1 to 2 weeks. What we do on Thursdays with the PMC stuff, that's going to be moved to Saturdays. And then Tuesday, we're going to keep doing stuff with Tuesday for a while, the Star Wars stuff as dedicated. But as soon as that gets boring after probably 4 or 5 games, we're going to then free up that day. And then Monday, which is our German Ironfront Day, and Wednesday are going to be, a mixture of Tier 1 ops. We're probably going to keep Ironfront dedicated to Mondays because a lot of people seem to like that. That's where we get the highest player count for Tier 1s, which are now getting into the fucking 40s, which I love. But, from there, we'll probably have Wednesday be just a random day of whatever I think this community wants to see. Via just asking people and seeing what they want to do. So anything is up for the table. Operation Trebuchet, Vietnam, Star Wars, maybe some random PvP, who knows. But, from the new schedule, it's going to basically be Saturday will be the PvP stuff, because people like PvP. It promotes a bit of fun stuff. I just got to make sure we don't overdo it because too much PvP can make people start hating each other. Monday will be, Ironfront Day. Tuesday will be free. We'll have another Zeus be doing stuff. Wednesday will be just some random tier 1 op that people want to do. I remember this fucking bridge. I lost a full squad of Vipers on a truck to it. Bad memories. Bad memories. Thursday, same thing. It'll be open to another Zeus or just training. Let me retract my statement about other Zeuses for a second. It'll probably just be dedicated training or training ops done by other tier 5 members, and then maybe other Zeus stuff because, training is starting to take more of a precedent in this community. So people can be ranked up past tier 1. And Friday will be our tier 0 day, and then Saturday will be our tier 2 op, and then our tier 3 or tier 4 op, depending on the schedule. So, anyway, guys, that's all I had, just to go over everything quickly again. We're restructuring the tier system, changing up the calendar a bit to transition to the new schedule that's coming in late August. We have a lot new campaigns coming out. We've got a new mode, PMC Wars, that's being done on Thursday, which will be moved to Sundays. Nice little PvP thing. We've got a new Tier 3 campaign that's going to involve a frigate. I'm still finalizing Star Wars. I've got 3 new editors. We've got a new Tier 4 campaign coming up that's going to involve Stargate and just a lot of crazy shit. And we've got a Zeus v Zeus campaign coming up where the prize pool is going to be possibly, most likely, $1,500. So anyway, guys, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. I hope to see you on the Friday Ops today, and take care.